93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Skido Sports Show live at Solutions 939 FM. Thank God it's Friday. My name is Oladapo Kunubi. Welcome to the show. Well, on the show this morning, we look at updates from the world of tennis, the World Athletics Championship. We talk boxing, we talk Formula One, and we look at games going down this weekend, starting tonight across Europe. Well, not a good night yesterday for Tobi Amusan at the World Athletics Championships. But hey, after that race, she came out to say that she will be back. That's by finishing on a poor note in the hurdles, 100-meter hurdles for women in the final. But let's start with tennis this morning, where Andy Murray will face Corentin Miltet in the opening round of the US Open, with British men's number one Cameron Norrie beginning his campaign against Alexander Shevchenko. British women's number one Katja Butler takes on Daniel Parry, with Jody Barrage kickstarting her tournament against Anna Blinkova. Remember, we're live on Facebook and YouTube, Solutions 939 FM. Watch, click the like, click the subscribe and share buttons. Now, let's look at another set of breakdowns for the Tennis US Open. Well, the fourth and the final tennis Grand Slam of the year gets underway in New York on Monday, August 28. Recently crowned Wimbledon champion and men's number one Carlo Alcaraz begins his title defense against Dominic Coetfort, while reigning French Open winner and women's number one Iga Swiatek faces Rebecca Peterson. Novak Djokovic denied his shot at a calendar slam by Alcaraz at SW19 resumes his pursuit of the 24th Grand Slam singles title against Alexander Mueller after missing the US Open last year due to COVID-19 vaccination status. Okay, now let's look at more that is happening. Remember, we still have more qualification games going down today. Some are to continue today, while some are to start today. Aziz Dogaz will be up against Nicolas Moreno. We have Emilio Navarre against Andre Vavazori. Filip Misolic will take on Kima Kopjan, as Jakob Menchik will be up against Leandro Riedi. Some of the games, well, talking about games to continue today, Vasek Pospisil will continue his game against Zachary Vojan, as Arthur Kozoks will take on Shitaro Mijizuki. Liam Brody against Jasper De Jong, as Yuta Shimizu battles Hugo Gostin, and Gota Ockling will continue his game against Sho Shimba Bukuro, as Bona Gojo will be up against Andrea Andriev. We're talking about the WTA category of the women's qualification. The women's qualification of the US Open. We've got games going down starting at 3 o'clock today. Nuria Parisa Diaz against Evelise, as Gretchen Minen will take on Sinjan Kroos, and Kanja Jovan will take on Uruka Kaji. Well, looking at other games, some games are to continue today. The likes of the battle between Vera Vonareva against Despina Pamamika, and Diana Shedna against Elsa Jacquemont. Timia Barbos against Fiona Krall, Julia Reynma against Emina Bektars, and the last game of the day we see Yanina with Maya against Sasha Vickery. We've got tournament at the Western Salem Open in the world of tennis, the ATP 250, Bona Courage through Sebastian Baez, through Jerry Leheka, through walking over Sebastian Corda. And looking at the games scheduled for tonight, starting that will be by 8 o'clock, but the singles is by 11:30 tonight, where Bona Courage will take on Sebastian Baez. Moving on from that this morning, as we look at other updates, we go straight and talk NBA. Before talking NBA, let's talk about the FIBA World Cup this morning, where Kamal Malosh, an elite 2025 NBA draft prospect who is just 16 years old, has been named to South Sudan's FIBA World Cup roster. Their basketball federation has confirmed this development. Maloch will be the third youngest player in the event's history, dating to 1950, the 7'2" Malaysia is a member of NBA Africa Academy in Senegal, which he joined as a high school freshman in 2021, 2 years after he started playing basketball seriously while living in Uganda. Now, Malaysia is one of 4 NBA Academy alum competing at the World Cup, along with Zhongzi, Jackie, Kui from China, and Australia's Josh Giddy and Dyson Daniels, who attended the Global Academy in Canberra, Australia. Now, moving on, talking about Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo said he does not plan to sign a contract extension when he becomes eligible next month, and that he won't sign one until he's comfortable knowing the organization will continue to compete for a championship. We had an interview with the New York Times, and the two-time MVP said that, he made it clear, if it is about you joining, being in a team that is not ready to compete, you have to think twice. Well, if he's going to move away from Milwaukee Bucks, what club would that be? And sometimes you just have to be a legend in a team, playing and giving your best. That may be for Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to push Milwaukee Bucks to also look at what they can do. Maybe sign some players, refocus what they want to do in the new league season. Antetokounmpo will enter the third season of a 5-year, $228 million Supermax extension in 2023-2024. His contract includes a player option after the 2024-2025 season. And talking about the breakdown here, the Bucks can offer Antetokounmpo a 3-year of $173 million extension beginning September 22. However, Antetokounmpo outlined the factors that will go into his decision making before he signs his next deal. Now, let's talk about a legend here. Los Angeles Lakers will unveil a statue of Kobe Bryant on February 8th. The team announced alongside Vanessa Bryant on Thursday morning. Vanessa Bryant made the announcement in a video posted to the Lakers' social media account at 8:24 on August 24, also known as Mamba Day, as a reference to the numbers 8 and 24 jerseys Kobe Bryant wore during the 20-year Lakers career. The statue date also ties Bryant's daughter Gianna into the ceremony as she wore number 2. Recall Kobe and Jared Bryant were killed in a helicopter crash along with 7 others in Calabasas, California in January 2020. Now, talking about having a statue at the front of the crypto arena, Bryant will be joining the likes of Elgin Baylor, Shaq O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Jerry West, and broadcaster Chick Hearn. Now, let's go straight and talk about the World Athletics Championship. Yes, it wasn't really a good one for Tobi Amusan. A lot of people expected her, to go all the way. But hey, it is what it is, right? Anything can happen. Well, Nigeria's Tobi Amusan failed to defend a World Athletics Championship title after finishing 6th in Thursday's final in Budapest. Amusan returned in a time of 12.62 seconds, which was not enough to earn her a place on the podium. Well, she was dethroned by 2015 champion Danielle Williams of Jamaica, who won the gold after clocking a season best of 12.43 seconds. And well, for Tobi Amusan, she's optimistic that she can be back, also thanking the fans, same as family, staying behind her despite what she went through before coming to the tournament.
First of all, you're smiling. Where did you get that courage to show people smiling on the face?
It could be worse. I could be on my couch watching this, but I'm just thankful. All glory to God. It was a journey coming out here, going through the rounds and making it to the finals. I'm just thankful that I got, I think 6 or 7. But in another finals, it's not over. I'll be back stronger and better.
Now the motivation to come back, despite what you've gone through the season, that courage and the endurance, the confidence, where do you get it from? You talk about the 5 support system. Where do you get it from?
Trust me, it's been good. My team, my family, they held me down through this past month up until today. And I'm just thankful that, you know, I'm out here, I competed healthy, and I have...
Well, she's happy. So, the Nigerians be happy for her. Well, let's just be hopeful that the next event she'll be going for, she can be world focused. But now let's look at games, scheduled for today at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, the day 7, 25th of August. The morning session starts 10 o'clock with the decathlon, 100 meters for male, as we have the javelin throw qualification group A for men's and women's high jump qualification, long jump of the decathlon round men's, and the men's javelin throw qualification group B, and we have the decathlon shot put male. And in the afternoon session, we'll be having a high jump decathlon men and the men's 4x100 meter relay heat, women's triple jump final, 4x100 meter relay heat for women, women's javelin throw final, the women's 800 meter semi-final, the men's 400 meters decathlon, 200 meter women's final, and 200 meter men's final. That's what the schedule looks like today. Remember, the tournament will end on 27th of August, which is going to be the day 9. Away from that, this morning, looking at more updates. As we go straight to talk football, remember guys, you can watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, Solutions 939 FM, and remember you can download our app via Google Play Store. Type Solutions 939 FM with your Android iOS phone or your iPod. Click the download button and listen on the go. Okay, so let's start with women's football. Remember, one man has been in the news since the final of the FIFA Women's World Cup, won by the Spanish women's team, and that was that happens to be Luis Rubiales. And Spanish Football Federation has confirmed that the president of that, of the Spanish Football Federation, is planning to resign today after FIFA opened disciplinary proceedings against him over his unsolicited kiss of player Jenny Hermoso. And what Rubiales' position had grown increasingly untenable since his behavior after Spain won the World Cup by beating England in the final in Sydney this past Sunday. The case first on the lips of Hermoso has garnered most of the headlines, but he was also seen effusively hugging Spain player and kissing on the neck. So, well, that paragraph of forcing a kiss, I am not sure, but I think we need to go back to that video if that kiss was forced on Hermoso. Well, let's wait. It may be a breaking news very soon. I think just to avoid the pressure. But let's go on the break, and when we return, we'll look at more stories from the world of football, most especially club football. For those of you who've got Luke Shaw in your Premier League fantasy, think twice. Same as some key players who are out of this weekend's Premier League games.
Omo, our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor they shout. As you enter, so enter with your change. Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this somebody don't I know if you collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say.
Okay, we don't get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
When you consider better yama roasted fish without the hungry you since you come.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not suppose hard like this, oh. Now make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial star 671 hash or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
Hey, my name is Alex. I've been a content creator for a while now, and I always try to innovate to keep my audience entertained and engaged. When 5G came into Nigeria, I thought it was all noise, like the normal hype, gang, and all that noise. But boy, was I wrong. Because I've hosted virtual concerts, partied with my followers in the metaverse, created skits with creators in other countries without ever having to leave my room. I can shoot a movie without being on set. Hey, now that's a godsend. With all the money I've spent on cabs this year. If there's one thing 5G has done right, I would say it's made it easier for me to do me.
Change the game with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speed, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality data capabilities. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Taiwo Awoniyi continued his Premier League positive form with back-to-back goals as he helped his Nottingham Forest side secure a 2-1 win over Sheffield United. Brentford edged Fulham 3-0, while 10-man Liverpool struggled to 3-1 win over Bournemouth at Anfield. Wolves lost 4-1 against visitors Brighton. Tottenham defeated Manchester City 2-0, while Manchester City continued their title defence run against Newcastle United with a hard-fought 1-0 victory thanks to Julian Alvarez's strike. Aston Villa bounced back from their Week 1 loss against Newcastle with a 4-0 whitewash of Everton as 10-man West Ham United embarrassed Chelsea at the London Stadium, beating the Blues 3-1. Arsenal on Monday night defeated Crystal Palace 1-0 despite a man down in the Week 2 of the English Premier League.
Ødegaard, classy penalty into the corner, sends the keeper the wrong way, never in doubt from the Norwegian. He opens his account for the season, Arsenal with their first away goal of the campaign as well. Beautiful penalty, Martin Ødegaard, Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 1.
Okay, check your time right now, 8:18. Let's talk about the games going down this weekend and updates coming from different teams on the show. This morning we start with Manchester United. Well, Manchester United left back Luke Shaw is out for a number of weeks with a muscle injury. Defender could miss England's Euro qualifiers against Scotland and Ukraine in September. Manchester United's problems are mounting at the start of the season with Mason Mount potentially out for up to 6 weeks with a reported hamstring injury following Saturday's defeat at Tottenham. And let's go straight to Chelsea this morning, where the club's manager Mauricio Pochettino said it is unrealistic to expect summer recruits to be playing their best football for the club already, despite upward £350 million having been spent so far this transfer window. The team is winless after the manager's first 2 games in charge with 1 point on the board and the Northern Premier League table, with flashes of good play having been punctuated by inconsistency, as was the case in Saturday's 3-1 loss to West Ham. Remember, they had a draw in the first game of the season. However, for Mauricio Pochettino, he has also come out to say that he needs 2 signings before the transfer window closes. Now let's go straight to Luton Town, where the club has revealed largely that they'll be relying on free transfer signings to build their squad, and one to arrive this summer is England midfielder Ross Barkley, who could be in line to make his debut against his former club tonight. Edwards also confirmed another free agent from the Manchester United defender Axel Tuanzebe, who had been training with the Luton Town team over the past week and could yet earn a deal at the Bradfordshire outfit. Well, how will the fixtures look like this weekend starting tonight?
The English Premier League Week 3 game starts with a Friday night battle at the Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea host Luton Town. On Saturday, Tottenham Hotspur will be the guest of Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. Arsenal returns to the Emirates with a game against London neighbours Fulham. Brentford hosts Crystal Palace. Everton will hope to snap out of their poor run in the league when they host Wolves at the Goodison Park. Former champions Manchester United will take on Taiwo Awoniyi's Nottingham Forest, while Brighton lock arms with West Ham United. On Sunday, Burnley will tackle Aston Villa, Sheffield United hosts Manchester City, and it will be a tough contest between Newcastle and Liverpool at the St James's Park.
Match Day 3 fixtures kicks off on Friday night with Las Palmas battling Real Sociedad, while Giants Real Madrid battles Celta Vigo at the Estadio Balados. 3 games will be decided on Saturday, with Cadiz hosting Almeria, Granada tackling Mallorca, and Girona will travel to play Sevilla. On Sunday, Villarreal will welcome champions Barcelona to the Ceramical Stadium. Valencia will be up against Osasuna, and Atletico Bilbao will face Real Betis. Monday Night Football will see Alaves tackle Getafe, and Real Vallecano fight for points against Atletico Madrid.
In the Italian Serie A round 2 fixtures scheduled for this weekend, Frosinone will tackle Atalanta and Monza battle Empoli. AC Milan hosts Torino at the San Siro Stadium. AS Roma trade tackles with Verona. On Sunday, Fiorentina lock arms with Lecce. Former champions Juventus face Bologna. Genoa travel to Lazio, with Napoli banking on Victor Osimhen to bang in goals when they host Sassuolo at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. On Monday night, Salernitana will square up against Udinese, and Cagliari tackle former champions Inter Milan.
In Germany, teams will battle each other in the Week 2, starting with Friday night clash between RB Leipzig and Stuttgart. On Saturday, Borussia Dortmund will be guests to Bochum. Darmstadt will take on Union Berlin as FC Köln hosts Wolfsburg. Freiburg will take on Werder Bremen, while Heidenheim will take on Hoffenheim, and Borussia Mönchengladbach will take on Bayern Leverkusen. On Sunday, Mainz will face Eintracht Frankfurt, and defending champions Bayern Munich will face Augsburg at the Allianz Arena.
Okay, well, let's also look at live games are going down today. Well, let's go straight to the French League on. Remember, games are going down tonight. One game is going down tonight in France. That's Nantes taking on Monaco. And we're still looking at what may also be, what will surely be going down to this weekend in the French League on. And we have Marseille taking on Brest as Paris Saint-Germain will be up against Lens. Rennes will take a lot as Clermont will take on Metz. Montpellier will be up against Reims as Toulouse take on Strasbourg. Lorient against Lyon as Nice will take on Lyon. Those are the fixtures. We're talking about the round 3 games in the French League on. Now let's move on this morning and talk transfer stories. And we start with one man who may be headed for the Saudi Pro League. Is none other than Mo Salah. We're getting reports that Liverpool will reject any offers for Mo Salah following attempt by Saudi Arabian champions Al Ittihad to make the latest star player to move to Saudi Pro League. Salah, 31, has emerged as a target for Al Ittihad, who want the Egypt international to form a strike partnership with former Real Madrid forward Karim Benzema and the Jeddah-based team. Remember, Fabio Salah's former Liverpool teammate left Liverpool for Al Ittihad in a deal worth £40 million last month, and sources have also said that the Saudi club are prepared to pay a huge fee and wages to sign Salah, who signed a new 3-year contract at Anfield in 2022. Remember, should he move to Saudi Pro League, We were playing against the likes of Sadio Mane, Cristiano Ronaldo, and remember also facing Steven Gerrard, who's the manager. But now let's go straight to what has also happened in Manchester City. Doku is now a City boy. Not Shetima, the City boy, but we're talking about Doku. And he confirmed that he had to ask series of questions from national teammates Kevin De Bruyne, who is injured. So we'll be having Belgians more. This man will be playing in the team and is a replacement to Riyad Mahrez.
Jeremy, welcome to the club. How does it feel to join Manchester City?
I'm very happy to be here. Big club, massive club. So I'm very excited and can't wait to start.
Of course, you already know Kevin De Bruyne from your time with Belgium. Have you had any conversations with him?
Yeah, I know him, of course. He's now our captain also. So, yeah, as soon as he heard about the rumors, he directly sent me a message and gave me some info if I had questions. And, yeah, obviously now he's injured, so he sent me a message and told me that if I have any questions and if I need him for anything, he's there. So I was happy to hear that.
How nice is it for you to have someone already at the club that you know?
Very nice. It makes it more easier for me. But I already heard of everyone that the group is good. So, but yeah, of course, it makes it more easy for me to go into group.
How does it feel to know the prospect of playing under Pep Guardiola?
Like I said, I'm very excited because, yeah, with a top coach, I can only be a better player and want to know what he can learn me to be a better player. And so, yeah, like Kevin, Pep is also injured now. So, but I wish him speed recovery and I can't wait to see him.
What would you say are your best qualities as a footballer?
As a footballer, yeah, I'm quick. I'm strong. I like to dribble, technique. So yeah, those are my abilities that I like to rely on.
Okay, we also hope that Pep Guardiola will allow you do more of dribbles, replacement for Riyad Mahrez. But now let's drop the anchor here. But before dropping the anchor, I'm moving to the other side of the show this morning. We're getting updates from Nottingham Forest. The Premier League side is close to finalising an agreement to sign Chelsea midfielder Andre Santo. And for Brentford, the club is braced for Premier League clubs to bid for Ivan Toney in January when the England striker has completed his 8-month ban for breaching gambling rules and value him at £80 million. So what club will put in mourning on Ivan Toney? We don't know. All right, guys, well, we'll move to the other side of the show this morning where we'll look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Well, what will be Amuson said she'll be back. I'll also be back in the next few minutes. Ashake Sunshine.
Ọlọ́ládé mi Àṣàkẹ́.
Ọmọ yìí kò kakú, ó fẹ́ ló bí Dangote, ó ní láti jagun. Ìgbádùn ayé pọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìpọ́njú, má bẹ̀rù rọ́jú. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Ọmọ no mo lè wá kú, àbútí gbé bá kú. No dey form say you judge, you try to dey kaku. I dey celeste handles my situation, all my pains and my troubles. Steady lighting my candle, chop more grief, part of the struggle. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Happiness on the way, oh my God. Light up my fire, loloke. Mr. Money, me I'm a load, shake. Mama, he shake it. Don't take way, I don't see the I be the room vibe, me no be like Yazoo. That was okay, I mean, that was shit. Eyes on me, I know people. Jamalomo mi no be soro. Mo ní irú ẹ̀ lé jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀. Ìbàdí nìkan mọ̀, gbèsè mọ́ mi jọ̀wọ́. 24 karat sati, baby jazzy, I be classy, massive. Bad boy from starting, no Miami, ilé Illuminati. Ọmọ yìí kò kaku, ó fẹ́ lóbi Dangote, ó ní láti jagun. Ìgbádùn ayé pọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìpọ́njú, má bẹ̀rù rọ́jú. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Ọmọ no wòlé wákú, àbútí gbé bákú. No dey form say you judge, you try to dey kaku. Ali Celeste handles my situation, all my pains and my troubles. Steady light in my candle, chop my private part of the struggle. No one. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Solutions 93.9 FM. We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy that an export engine, and we need to be a production.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dakwa, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
It's a beautiful Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday, right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Exactly 34 minutes past the hour of 8, and it's time for us to look at the front pages of our Nigerian newspapers as we have a view on the state of the nation, as well as being the spotlight on some of the trending stories. Welcome to the show. My name is Victory Richard. Good morning to you, Dapple.
Yeah, good morning, Victory. Thank God it's Friday. And, President Bola Tinubu has sent, another delegation to Niger to also have a discussion with the junta. We hope that this can also be fruitful. But remember, this is not a battle of Nigeria and Niger. It is an ECOWAS decision. As well, we look at what is also the politics ongoing in Lagos State. Remember the 17, talking about the list of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the 17 rejected. Body Judge has been speaking about that. Maybe because Bola Tinubu is now focusing on the federal assignment. He's not focusing on Lagos. But hey, remember, you have to look back home. What is happening at my backyard?
Absolutely.
This is what we look at this morning.
Of course, be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939 FM. Do well to jump in on the platform and do react to stories that are interest to you. Be also reminded that Fridays are usually the open mic edition, so you get to react to several stories that you so please. The phone lines will be open shortly for you to call into the studio and lend in your thoughts. The numbers would be 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. You can also send in messages via WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422 2939. On Twitter, it's at Solutions939FM. I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, I'll be looking at the Nation and the Punch newspapers. Let's go.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Alright, let's begin this morning with the Vanguard newspaper, starting off with this story. Manufacturers' confidence in economy wanes amid harsh environment. Survey speaking there. And now to J. Cool. I am managing a very serious situation. President Bola Tinubu is speaking in that regard. 41 killed as Boko Haram, ISWAP terrorists clash in Borno State. Find that story on page 6. Bello, Kogi, Cross River. Protesters storm APC Secretariat over NWC appointment. And now to the biggest story on the Vanguard this morning. 24 bank lose 9.75 billion naira in second quarter of 2023 as fraud rises to 277%. I hope our monies are safe. 2 die, many trapped. 37 rescued as Abuja Plaza collapses. I think it now makes sense why, the minister of the FCT is trying to destroy or bring down illegal buildings, because we don't have cases like this. There's been several reports, both in Lagos and Abuja and other states across the federation, of buildings collapsing and leading to the loss of lives and properties, and we don't want the repetitions of that. Release Kanu to end insecurity in Southeast. Reps speaking there. I will speak with manufacturers on reducing cement price. Omahi. And now to sports. Crystal Palace to submit £12 million bid for Iheanacho. Find these stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper.
Sometimes when you take sports stories, I feel like, okay, why is Victory not doing kickoff? Why is he not doing extra stuff? Why is he not doing extra time? Why is he not here on Saturday for Saturday Sports Safari? I mean,
it's all right.
Okay, so let's go straight to the Nation newspaper this morning with the cap headlines. Here, let me start with this. Hold governors accountable for palliatives, says Tinubu. And going to politics in Lagos, APC leaders step into Sanwo-Olu assembly role. And right after that, why nominees were stopped. Next set of headlines. Ondo government overrules Akure monarch over market closure. Potholes endanger lives on Third Mainland Bridge. The red and yellow headline from the Nation newspaper this morning. Wike orders arrest of developer after death of 2 in Abuja building collapse. And the banner headline this morning from the Nation newspaper. Edu, hyperinflation, low GDP per capita to end soon. And did you get the latest updates about a naira to dollar? It's 900 naira to a dollar now, according to the updates we got last night. And the next, that particular headline from Edu has 2 riders. The first writer says unemployment rate down to 4.1% in Q1. Our investment drive on course by Shetima. Okay, looking at other headlines here. I'm under pressure over Niger Junta, says Tinubu. Right after that, speed up choose talks. President tells Ulama. That particular sex was in the presidential villa yesterday, and now they've been told to go on a second visit to Niger. President graduated in 1979. Chicago University replies article. And right after that headline, why we can't release academic records to plaintiff. Nigeria ranked 11th globally in internet penetration. And there are two headlines here, foreign headlines. Wagner boss made mistakes, says Putin. And the next one says Zimbabwe opposition leader claims rigging. Well, this and more you can find from the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, away from the Nation, let's now move over to the Nigerian Tribune, starting off with this story. MBS revisits methodology for unemployment report, says rate drop to 41 or 4.1% in first quarter. Wike orders arrest of landlord as building collapses in Abuja. 2 dead, 37 rescued. And now to the biggest story in the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria, I am the one holding ECOWAS back, Tinubu urges Islamic scholars to ensure constitutional governance restoration. Find that story on page 4. And now to health. NAFDAC approved Varsity's herbal medicine for diabetes. Okay, that's great news to see that our own product has passed through the clinical stages and is now approved or being approved by NAFDAC. Well done to the Varsities involved. Pay withheld salaries. Renegotiate 2009 agreement, ASU tells Tinubu. NANS queries stringent criteria for student loan. 1.92 million benefit from palliatives distribution in Kaduna, Gombe states. Delta communities occupy Shell's fuel station over non-inclusion in PIA. Threatens to halt crude oil production. Yahaya Bello, Kogi lawmakers storm APC headquarters over Mesoko Okolo. Cross River fumes over Idele. These are the stories that made the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, going straight to the Punch newspaper this morning and looking at headlines. I think I have to start with the banner headline this morning because I said 900 naira earlier, but it's now 920 naira. And this may also affect the 4-pound price. Okay, now looking at the banner headline from the Punch newspaper this morning. Naira crumbles to 920 naira per dollar. Fuel marketers push for fresh price hike. Should we be expecting protest, strike very soon? Well, Mr. President also needs to come out here. The finance minister must come out and let us know the way forward. Right us to this headline. Fuel price can't remain at 617 with naira falling below 900 naira per dollar. Ipman. Next rider. Nigerians back subsidy removal. FG replies Obaseki. Labour wants NNPCL probe. Okay. Let's look at the front page picture from the Punch newspaper this morning, which is concerning the building that collapsed in Abuja on Wednesday night stroke Thursday morning. Falling slabs trapped us while fleeing. Abuja collapsed building victims. And you can see, the robbers there, excavators and the likes, trying to clear that. And, part of the things we also got was that people living in that particular house where they should have been, moved to another, place, but that happened. And you could see FCT Minister Nyesom Wike also giving an order to get the owner of that building. Okay, now looking at other headlines this morning, going down Punch, going to the last set of headlines before moving to the cap. FG faces heavy criticism over 4.1% unemployment data. Family fault army's silence on senator's aide allegedly killed by rogue soldiers. Nigerians stranded in UK victims of visa scam. I take it again. Nigerians stranded in UK victims of visa scam. And to the cap headline this morning, ECOWAS military action won't yield positive results in Niger, Russian envoy. FG makes 2 trillion naira taxes from Google, Facebook, foreign firms report. And the last headline this morning that has been causing a lot of reactions is this. Cultural Minister still a copper. Group alleges. This and more you can get from the Punch newspaper this morning. Now that we've been able to punch down headlines from the Punch, get from the Nation, Vanguard, and the Nigerian Tribune this morning, let's go straight to the burning issue. Well, let's start with Lagos State. And remember, we told you earlier that the headline from the Nation newspaper says APC leaders step into Sanwo-Olu Assembly Row and why nominees were stopped. Bode George is a PDP chieftain and saying that he's a Lagosian, and he's also maybe there's a mistake between in that selection process. Also, maybe there is something between Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Speaker of the House of Assembly.
This is a broken system in a political organization. Although, APC is not my party, but I'm a Lagosian, so I'm interested. And we are still waiting for the court to adjudicate on the election procedure. But having said that, most times I have referred to the APC as a congregation of strange bedfellows. You control the assembly. The executive governor is also a member of your party. There are members, older members who are old, the fathers of the party. So I hope so. And then you have the executive members of the party. Before you go and start forwarding the nominations for commissionership, you would have sat down as a committee, both the state assembly members, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and probably whatever they call the third one. Now, would have sat down with the governors, both the governor and the deputy, with the elders, to nominate people from all the various corners of the state. That's the way it's done. So you don't disgrace yourself by saying you are rejecting 17 members of those nominated by the governor. Who is the leader of the party in Lagos? It is shambolic, But I also learned that a group went to protest, led by one professor, whatever. Please, in the name of the Almighty God that we serve, don't bring religion into the affairs of the management of our state. It has never happened because in Lagos State, there is hardly any family member, any family, that will not have Christians, Muslims, and the traditional members. So what on the globe are you now bringing religion into the affairs of our management? What you doing?
Well, that was Bode George, PDP chieftain in Lagos State. Also, talking about the politics in Lagos State, what has happened and what should be done Well, Comrade Ayode Jadishoko is with us this morning as we look at this and more. Good morning to you, Comrade.
Good morning.
Wow. I like the way you sound this Friday morning. What's happening, Comrade?
It's a Friday morning.
Okay. I see. I can feel that.
Let's thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday. So let's go straight to Lagos this morning before we move to Abuja and the other stories. I mean, you heard what Body just said. Despite being a PDP man, he was also able to marshal, what should be done. Maybe Sanwo-Olu did not have a conversation with Mudashiru Obasa and some other honorable members in Lagos State. And I said something. Is it that because Tinubu is now focused on the federal level, is now president, the reason that Lagos State is on fire with what is happening between the governor and the Speaker of the House of Assembly?
Well, one of the things that we are finding out is that during the first term of some of these commissioners designate, there is what they refer to as insubordination. They must have been invited to the assembly, and of course, must have ignored the invitation of the assembly. And definitely, what is happening now is that the assembly is having its own pound of flesh. But is that in public interest? People have pinpointed two of them specifically. Professor Abayomi, the Commissioner for Health, and the woman that was the Commissioner for Education. Two critical sectors in governance, health and education. We know how critical these are. And if they have been, commended for their performance in their first term, how can the assembly be of a different opinion from the people who these people serve? And there were questions about specific votes and budgets for Professor Abayomi, how monies for COVID were spent. You see, you don't do that. Yes, you have an oversight function, but the man was not there to defend a budget. He was there for screening. The screening period is not a time to be questioning them about budgets and all of that. If he came presenting a budget, that would have been a different thing. So, it was purely inappropriate for the assembly to be doing what they are doing. Like I said, they also do, and thankfully, the elders of the party, the so-called GAC, Governors Advisory Council, they have stepped in. Issues, that's a lot of disorderliness coming from the State Assembly. And the chairman of that 12-man screening committee, rather than take ownership, he just took a dive and said it was a collective decision. A collective decision to do what? To deny people the services of those brilliant chaps that have served Lagos very well. I think there is a need for a rethink. That's ridiculous coming from Lagos, where processes are properly guided.
Okay. Fair enough. Comrade, let's talk about another story. Good morning to you.
Good morning, brother.
Yes. Let's move over to the FCT with the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, who faced a high level of criticism a couple of days ago when he made a bold statement about the demolition of illegal properties and structures in Abuja. Now, this is coming on the heels of the recent SARD incident that happened yesterday, I believe, a two-story building in Abuja coming down with experienced loss of life and properties in that regard. Would it be safe to say that Wike foresaw the future, hence the need to make such a bold statement? And this is not the first time we're having an incident like this happening in the country.
Well, even if it is good, to take necessary action against people who are building illegally and are not even building properly. Look, you see, this comes down to the issue of institutions. If anything happens, there are procedures. It doesn't have to be the minister making a pronouncement that go and arrest him. The people who should do that know their jobs. But it doesn't have to be the minister making such a pronouncement. And believe you me, but that is vintage Yenson Wike, an abrasive fellow whose conduct in the public space is leaves so much to be desired. But he is called Mr. Project. So let us see how he's going to manage that. You see, the ridiculous part of this whole thing is that when that fellow from Kaduna, Nasir El-Rufai, was minister, everything that he did to make Abuja look a sane place has been reversed. You see, I have lived twice in Abuja. I first got to Abuja in 1983, late 83, late 83 or 84, When I got there, of course, it was still, a very small place. Even way back then, cables were already being, laid on the floor. On what was supposed to be underground cable, but there was still even order then. Yes, by the time I returned in 1999, 2000, it had become a huge place, infrastructure everywhere, beautiful roads, well laid out roads. But there was still disorderliness. El-Rufai came, and El-Rufai tried, all his best with the back of the president to do the needful. But everything has been reversed. You see, we are who we are. We are a disorderly people. Like my father used to say, we are harvesters of ruins. People profit from ruins. It is a very, very sad situation. A city that was purpose-built, you understand, from the scratch, because of the congestion in Lagos, the planlessness of Lagos, and then you go ahead and do the same thing and do worse. Let us hope that Wiki will not get tired of, you see, what baffles me is that all these things, they have approval. Some people give them signs their CFO, and then you go and pull the house down. What about the people who gave the approval? What about the person who signed the CFO and all of that? Whereas we have a scientific database now, you understand?
Sure.
Scientific database, not physical inspection, not necessarily physical inspection. Yet they go ahead and do all of those approval, and then we have that congestion. You build in green areas, you build in passages for sewage. Original design, master plan. That is what a master plan is. But we just do what we like. A disorderly people we are.
Okay. Now, let's go straight to the Punch newspaper this morning. I know you would have seen that particular headline that spoke about Hannatu Musawa. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria has accused the Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, of serving as a minister while undertaking the one-year mandatory National Youth Service Corps scheme. And, according to the report we are seeing here, according to Punch, in a statement on Thursday, Horiwa alleged that years back, Musawa abandoned her NYSC in Ebonyi State, but later showed interest in completing it. Do we say that people that nominated some of these ministers, back then when they were ministers, they were nominated, is it that they didn't do their background check? And remember, some Nigerians have been turned down from getting a job because of their failure to possess NYSC certificate.
Thank you, Comrade Afo. You see, it is quite interesting. We have security agencies, that were supposed to have done their due diligence. This is just even such a fundamental, you understand? If you claim to have attended a tertiary institution, you understand, it is mandatory for you to do your NYSC, unless, of course, you have attained the age of 30 years. And, of course, even at that, you will have a...
Hello, comrade. All right, I think we have an interruption there. Perhaps.
So let's see if we can reconnect with, Comrade Aide Jadishope. Looking at that headline, a lot of people are saying, okay, let her focus on either the ministerial appointment or focus on the on our NYSC. I mean, we know a lot of people. I mean, if I could remember, there was also a minister who had to resign because of a forged NYSC, certificate. And it begs the question: those screening, those doing their background check about people who are occupying offices. Well, let's see if we can reconnect with Comrade Adeja Adishokwe on this matter. But remember, you can as well, let us know your opinion concerning some of these headlines we've been talking about this morning. You can check us out. So we are live on Facebook. Post your comment there, same as YouTube as well.
Absolutely. So reach out to us in these platforms and lend in your thoughts. Well, speaking about the NYC situation. It's no news, especially with the screening processes that we've seen. A lot of people have pegged it to be just for the optics and for the purpose of fulfilling a pattern or a structure that's been put in place, not necessarily doing the work. That's dotting the I's and crossing the T's with these ministers. So if we're seeing oversights like this being recorded, then it's no surprise to me. And the sad reality is, people are being turned down from getting federal jobs as a result of not having NYSC certificates. Then we have the powers that be, getting positions of public office, even without secondary school. We've seen cases of not even having this secondary school certificate that you can validate or prove. There's still the case with our presidents. I think there's a story in that. While we're not going to show his,
the Chicago.
There's just a lot with a certification. If people can attain public offices without valid certificate, then let's do that. As opposed to just depriving the common man with that excuse. If we're going to have public officers, being in offices of high esteem without a valid certificate, then it should also be the benefit of a common man in the streets, right? So if you have to come to equity like they say, please do come with clean hands.
Yeah.
All right, I think we might have to move away from that story whilst we try to reconnect with our comrade, but be reminded that you can join in on the platform on social media at Solutions 939 FM on Facebook, as well as on Twitter. You can send in a comment to Solutions 939. Shortly, we're going to be reading this comment as we progress with the show this morning. But another story that's making the round is Nigeria's unemployment rate dropped to 41% in first quarter of 2023, and that is coming from the National Bureau of Statistics. It's saying that the employment rate as of 2022. Okay, we have Comrade.
Yeah, Comrade is back.
All right, Comrade, great to have you join us again.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So we just moved to a new story. The MBS is saying that the unemployment rate in Nigeria dropped from 5.3% as of the last quarter of 2022 to 4.1%. And this is because they revisited the methodology in rating our employment statistics. I'm just wondering, every day we see people complaining about the high level of unemployment, but here we're seeing a decline, that we're doing better, especially with the first quarter of 2023. Based on what you've heard and seen, would you say that, would you justify such a claim?
Of course, apparently it is not justifiable by any means whatsoever. They might revisit the methodology. Have they revisited the reality? You understand? You see, you can revisit the methodology, but have you revisited the reality on the streets that you and I know? Do they live in a different world? You understand? It's like you send somebody to go and do a market survey. The markets are the markets. They are not different from the markets of 1, 2, 3 years ago. The same markets, the same people. So, what methodology? Methodology will give you different results, but the reality of the facts do not change.
has not changed and will not change. Look, are you telling me? I mean, between June and now, let's take the third quarter for instance. The third quarter, you know, the first quarter is January, February, March. The second is April, May, June. Now, so let's take July, August, September. I mean, well, what are we talking about? The statistics available. Those are, you are earlier saying that the Ipman are suggesting, because the Naira is back to 920, and of course, because we are an import-dependent country, and of course, we know how PMS and diesel drives our economy. When diesel and PMS drives an economy, what do you expect? Of course, the cost of production and the cost of retail in the market will go up, especially the what you call the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. That is the food items and all of the household goods. So what are we talking about? And then, you know, people in the long run are going to lose their jobs. And our economy is sustained by the SMEs. SMEs are dependent on the petrol and the diesel to drive the economy. And when things get out of the range of the people who patronize them and purchase, what do you do? What do you do, big riches? You readjust. You understand? If you are buying 10, you start buying 5 or 6. You know? So it's just as simple as that. Where are they getting their own reality from? That is not the reality Nigerians are facing. They might let them put their methodology, let them put it out in the open, and let us scrutinize, and let us see whether it is the same thing that is done in other climes. We should not escape our reality. We cannot escape it. It is our reality.
Okay, now, I just want us to, while we were discussing, and, the network, we had a network glitch, we were discussing about, NATO, and, I also thought of what happened to Kemi Adeosun for our NYSC certificate saga.
Yes.
And
Kemi Adeosun illegally procured. The circumstances may be slightly different. Kemi Adeosun illegally procured, is alleged, because it's remained an allegation, she was never prosecuted. She was alleged to have procured, because she tendered one, and she was alleged to have procured and tendered a criminally procured
discharge certificate.
Because NYC certificate denied and, by the NYC itself. And NATO is alleged to be serving. Okay. You could say, okay, she's serving, and what she's doing also amounts to national service, if you want to.
Comrade, because someone said, I don't want to mention the name of this politician, that yes, he has served Nigeria and he's still serving Nigeria. That he served as an NYSC, and for those who don't have NYSC, that they are still in politics, they want to serve Nigeria, even if they don't have the NYSC certificate. But this is where I'm going to. I'm looking at the gender. Yes, I'm looking at the gender bias here. Kemi Adeosun.
What gender bias?
I'm just looking. Looking at what has happened. We have Kemi Adeosun. She had to resign. Now, with this story coming out here, we know that of Oti, Alex Oti. Is it Alex Oti that they're having issues with his NYSC certificate? But if the women in politics could not survive, they'll have to be under fire and they will have to resign. Why does it make it easier for the male in politics to stand, and even some of them don't even resign? They just continue and still defending what is not defendable.
It is an issue of illegality bordering on criminality. You remember the first Speaker of House of Representatives, Toronto?
Yes.
Salisu Buhari. It is an issue of certification. Even Tinubu as president has not totally escaped the issue of Chicago. Has he escaped it? He's still in court, isn't it? Yeah. So Alex Oti has not escaped. Look, all these things have to be clear. Even issue of identity. You cannot have two identities. If you are transiting from one identity to the other, you understand, or to another, no problem. It must be established. And it must be established that when you are transiting, you are not trying to leave a criminal record of the past behind. You understand? People change their identities to avoid, to leave their criminal footprint. Because if you have a criminal footprint, you cannot escape it. Even if you change identity, your transition has a electronic footprint. You understand? Even transition from one identity to the other has an electronic footprint. So it will still be linked to you. So people should be careful about their identity. Identity is everything. You saw the guy, how he became governor in that place. The man was already rehearsing. It was not even the governor. It was his deputy governorship candidate. You know? So you remember Evans Ewerem in the Senate? Evans. You remember all of that. So people should be mindful of their issue of identity. OT, he has not escaped. Even the president, I don't think he has totally escaped unless, of course, the court say, look, this is where it ends. So it is politicians, maybe, I don't know, politicians can be funny, just like you said, she's on national service too. It's not a gender thing, believe you me. I don't think it's a gender thing.
Okay.
It's not a gender thing. But women are likely to go down faster than the men. That's just the issue.
Why is it? No, so that's the question. Easier to go down. Women are easier to go down
faster because women, by their constitution, they will not stick out a scandal. A man will stick out. You understand? I think that's just a gender thing. You know, I think it's just a gender thing. A woman will just take a bath and leave the scene, but a man will stand there and stick it out. Look at what Tinubu has talked out since 1999. That's very serious. I don't think.
Okay. I mean, going to the headline we have on the on Punch, the Nation newspaper that says presidents graduated in 1979. Chicago Varsity replies article, why we can't release academic records to plaintiff. So that is what we have on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. I'm not asking the certificate of Laffy this morning. He's trying to show us that he's an Arsenal fan, but there's no problem. All right, well, comrade, your DJ Shokwe. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I was about asking.
They cannot release the academic results to the
They cannot what?
They can probably release it to the courts.
Okay.
They cannot release it to the plaintiff now. They probably can release it to the court. You understand? Or to the tribunal or whatever. You're asking for somebody's academic records. In what capacity? If when we do verifications in tertiary institutions, we write on behalf of the university to wherever you say you graduated from, or employers write. You understand? Employers write under the cover of we are the employers of XYZ. Provide us with academic records or his records. You know, like as an individual. No, nobody does that. Nobody does that.
I think it still goes back to digitization. Yeah, confidentiality, also digitization. I just hope organizations, institutions can have their records digitized, and in case anybody wants to ask for information, you can just go check. And if you want to print, then you can also go back to meet the institution. Well, thank you very much, Comrade Ayode Jadishakwe, for joining us on the show this Friday morning. It has been a roller coaster ride this week.
Yes, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you. Have a splendid, wonderful weekend.
And you too. Okay, well, let's go on a break, and when we come back, we take your comments, your calls, and your reactions. Do not go anywhere. It is still from the Daily's AM Update live on Solutions 939 FM.
I tell people I'm a full-time master's student and a content creator, they go, huh? How are you able to do both all at once? You bewitch? No be juju. Na MTN 5G. Ever since 5G came into my life, I've been on cloud 9. I get to take my classes online in real time and upload my videos before you say Jack Robinson. Even Babe isn't left out. Our long distance is waxing strong.
Hello, babe. Can you hear me? Your video is frozen again.
We don't do that here, because life is a breeze.
Experience the wonders of MTN 5G. Hyper-fast internet connection with no buffering, zero lag, and quality data capabilities like never seen before. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
Omo, our eye don't see way for this cash palava. As conductor dey shout.
As you enter, so enter with your change.
Market women go dey holla.
I beg, this somebody don't say, I no fit collect now.
Supermarket people go dey tell you say.
Okay, we don't get change. I beg, use and take sweet now.
When you consider better yama roasted fish with all the hungry you since in come.
I no carry my wallet come out too.
See, life not suppose hard like this, so that make all of us for Nigeria they pay for everything with Momo. Dial star 671 hash or download the new Momo app. Make you follow enjoy this better life. Momo, better than cash.
Alright, you're welcome back. This is still the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. You're listening to From the Dailies, where we get to look at the papers. This morning we've been able to address a couple of issues that made the front pages of our different Nigerian newspapers, and it's time for you to lend in your thoughts regarding some of these stories. Be reminded that today is open mic, just in case there's a story that you wanted us to address and we were unable to as a result of time. You get the opportunity to talk about this story on the show. The numbers to call would be 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939, 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. A recap on some of the stories that we spoke about this morning. We talked about the decline of the unemployment rate in Nigeria from 5.3% down to 4.1%. We also spoke about what is happening in Lagos State between the House and the governor. We also addressed what else did we talk about this morning?
We looked at the serving core member minister or the serving minister.
Absolutely. So you can. She's doing her national service in the ministry. Good morning to you.
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Dubai.
Great to have you, Emmanuel. Let's hear your thoughts.
I want to make a correction. The person that has certificate to the government is from Enugu, not to your Abia State, so that you don't get it wrong.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't get what you said.
He said the governor involved is Enugu State Governor, not Alex.
Yeah, the Enugu State Governor. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. For that correction. Yeah, thank you so much. Well,
0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. These are the numbers to reach out to us this morning and address a couple of issues that is of interest to you that, of course, made it to the papers this morning. We're also reading messages on social media. On Facebook, it's Solutions939. On Twitter as well, it's Solutions939. Shortly, I'll be taking some messages you've sent to us on Twitter. So do well to calling 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. Let's go right into reading some of the messages.
So, I mean, the governor, Peter Umba. Yes, that's the name of the governor. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's check some comments out this morning, right?
World of Statistics made a tweet 3 days ago with Nigeria leading on the list of countries with unemployed people, with Nigeria having an unemployment rate at 33.3%. 3 days after, the Statistician General of the Federation, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, is now saying that there's a decline with our unemployment to 41. It is obvious that these people take Nigerians as a joke. It is clear as the day. All right, that is a message from Dio. This one is from CIM. He says, I'm not surprised. Are you not aware that the major criteria for accepting members into... Okay, it's talking about politics. I'm sorry, I can take that message. Let's look at other messages here. Chukudi says, Nigeria shocks me every day. So now the National Bureau of Statistics is now padding unemployment stats. Now Nigeria has lower unemployment rate than the likes of the UK, China, Canada, and Germany. When do we stop this nonsense and national embarrassment, for crying out loud? Okay, another message here from Esteem Mount says, APC finally fixing our unemployment problems with propagandas. We are now the country with the third lowest unemployment rate in the world. BAT fixed this in less than 100 days. What a commendable government. Miracle indeed. Not a tired Jesus. Another... Don't do that. Another message here is from Chief Okoma, and he says, so Nigeria Bureau of Statistics now parts unemployment rates for this. Okay, I don't know about that. Anyway, these are the comments I have thus far. I'll be taking more.
All right, looking at reactions concerning the culture minister, the headline that says culture minister still a copper group alleges, and we're getting reactions concerning that. Conscience says, did she not attach copy of her NYC discharge certificate to documents she submitted to the Senate? How did she get cleared by the Senate without due diligence? If this allegation is true, then the country 10th Senate is a boarding to the country. Obaolami at Isaiah Shobaz says, this country called Nigeria, they pepper me. Okay. And Sunday Kayode 201 says, someone should please tell me, should please tell us it's a joke. All right. So those are the comments we are getting concerning that particular, story.
Okay. Comment from Oluwaseun says, what has Wike done except wanting to do the right thing for the FCT? RFI did the same thing, but didn't learn any lesson. Now Wike wants to do the same thing, and you're saying he will learn a lesson. Seemed to me that you want him to be taught a lesson rather than do the right thing. Everybody just keeps saying lesson, lesson, lesson. I wonder what lesson they speak about. All right, that's a comment from Oluwaseun. This one is from Magnus, and he says, Wike has just become a governor, and he is seeing the future already. The building collapse tells why he made the statement that he made. I hope the landlord of that building is caught and dealt with. This would not stop if someone isn't used as a scapegoat. All right, Balogun says, Wike definitely likes to flex muscle. That's why he's calling for the arrest of the landlord. He's not the one to do that. Someone else should take responsibility of that whilst he focus on building the FCT. 2 days into power, he's already power intoxicated.
I mean, everybody's got different opinions about the decision. I mean, there's sometimes that you just have to, make your mark. Just not that you're just talking, but I mean, who should order for the arrest of the landlord? Who should? I mean, is the minister, is the FCT minister, and okay, you expect the director of the ministry to come and say we need to start looking for the landlord of that apartment, but it is what it is. Right? Do we have more comments, or we move this morning?
All right, that'll be all the comments that we have this morning on the show. I think we'll move to other segments, or pending when we do that, you will still have a couple of minutes. So if you want to call in, the numbers will be 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939.
Okay, so let's. It's 9:25. It's Friday. Let's go and turn up. But before we turn up, let's check what the weatherman is saying today. For those of you having plans to, for your events, for those traveling as well, because while leaving this morning, it was cloudy early this morning. But with what the weatherman is saying here, for those of you who are still experiencing the cloudy time, but from 11 a.m. we'll be having sun, but still mostly cloudy. But from 12 o'clock we'll be having the sunshine till 5-6 p.m. So in some signs of Ibadan it will be partly sunny, but we have a clear weather today. That's what the weatherman is saying today. Well, we'd like to say a very big thank you to everybody that joined us on the show from Monday till this morning. AM Updates makes a return next week, Monday, with Kiko Sports Show, 8 o'clock. And we'll move to other segments, a newspaper from the dailies, burning issues, get traffic updates, and weather forecast. My name is Oladapo Okunubi. Victory, we always say, go out and enjoy yourself this weekend. Watch movies, hangouts, drink water, mind your business.
All right, do something nice for yourself.
Something nice. That's good.
If
That's
you
good.
don't do that, ain't nobody gonna do it for you.
Mhm.
So make yourself a priority and have some time to unwind.
By
My
the
name
way-
is Victory Richard.
By the way, Burna Boy's album, did it drop today? I think it should be today.
No,
I think
today's
I
what 20
25.
No, it's going to premiere today. There's no
Okay.
official date for the release.
Ooh.
So for those who like to pre-order albums, he's going to have the album out today. But he's facing a lot of backlash. Burna
because of
Boy
what he
should
said.
be very, very
Careful.
circumspect with what he says. His becoming enthused. I'm just trying to be careful. I mean, his arrogance is just over the top right now.
Is it about arrogance?
He is very arrogant.
Okay, so he said something that I think saying that there's no content in Afro.
He spoke about Afrobeat lacking substance, but that's not even the crux of the conversation. It's how he continues to show his uncute behavior. He started off the video of him, disrespecting his grandpa and his mother in an interview, walking out on them at the course of an interview. According to him, the interview was boring, so it doesn't suit his caliber of
Personality.
interview. So he walked out on his grandpa and his mother. It was just mind-blowing for me.
Maybe we also look at maybe trying to put himself on social media, let people talk about him. Maybe some act.
That's
just
what
be-
we're saying. Whatever
I
you're
don't- I don't
doing
think
that
it's-
depicts arrogance. How can you walk out on your grandfather?
Maybe it was premeditated. Maybe it was a plan by the team.
It wasn't a plan because the mom was. Imagine you saying your grandfather calling you to embarrass him on national TV, and you say that's a plan. That's not a plan. Your grandfather and your mother, and you plan together because you want
People to talk about
visibility. That's lame.
Because sometimes when you look at some artists when they're about dropping projects, you see different
No,
stories.
that was even before he blew up. Actually, this interview.
Okay,
was
that
not-
particular.
it was-
No. Okay, so now there was one. He granted an interview about Afro music, saying that most people doing Afro music don't have content. Because I was.
No, that
and
was the recent interview.
Now I checked X yesterday. I mean, formerly Twitter, and someone just merged all the content, all the songs he has been doing, and saying that this man copied Black and White or full copying of Fela's music.
So according to, in his defense, he says Fela has Afrobeats, but the new carts who are doing Afrobeat right now do not understand music, and that's why he doesn't call himself an Afrobeat artist.
Is Afrofusion?
Afrofusion, because he incorporates different genres of music into his Afrofusion. But I just think Burna Boy should, calm down. He feels he's at the zenith of his career, so whatever he says is permissible, but it doesn't work that way. Hopefully he doesn't face the consequences that comes with pride.
All right, well, 9:29, we're out of the studio. We're back 2 o'clock for the Friday show. It's a Friday feeling. My name is Oladapo Okunubi once again, and
Victory Richard, have yourself a wonderful weekend.
It's a Friday feeling. We don't need a reason to start a freaking party. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody to the rhythm. You don't have to know the lyrics. Just listen to the music. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you fair? Are you see? Are you baby? You better do. There's no time. All we have is now. This moment forever. So we'll get high on life. Party all night. Light a Friday. You and I. Your hands on mine. Party all night. Light a Friday. This moment forever. Yeah. This moment forever. Yeah. We only have each other tonight.
ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Ó jẹ́ ti ká ṣètò tó mọ́gbọ́n wá àti ká gbéròyìn kalẹ̀ bó ṣe rí gẹ́lẹ́ ààrẹ bí ó alábàárò lé o Solutions FM tí gbogbo wa ní àẹ̀gbọ́n.
Ẹ̀sàdé fẹ́ni tó tọ́ sí ẹ̀kọ́ ṣùgbọ́n fẹ́ni tó ga jùlọ ṣe bá wà lárí tọdún mọ́ Solutions FM tí gbogbo wa ní.
Ṣé bá wà lárí tọdún mọ́ Solutions FM bàbá wọn ní.
Solutions 93.9 FM ilé àwẹ̀ ní òkè àdó Ìbàdàn àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
Máfi kan wá nínú mẹ́ta, àlàáfíà owó pẹ̀lú ọmọ wọn dùn ní. Máfi kan wá nínú mẹ́ta, máfi kan wá nínú mẹ́ta, àlàáfíà owó pẹ̀lú ọmọ wọn dùn ní. Àkọ́kọ́ tí a bá ti ní àlàáfíà, owó adé, owó dé ọmọ adé. Àkọ́kọ́ tí a bá ti ní àlàáfíà, owó adé, owó dé ọmọ adé. Kíkan ò sí nínú mẹ́ta, kò bá sí rárá àfi bí mẹ́ta bá pé. Kíkan ò sí nínú mẹ́ta, kò bá sí rárá àfi bí mẹ́ta bá pé. Irú àyè tí kálukú wà, ẹ̀tẹ́ tí ẹ gbọ́, jẹ́ bí wọ́n ti jẹ́. Àlàáfíà ni bàbá àgbà tó yẹ ká kọ́ ni kówó tó dé. Àlàáfíà ni bàbá àgbà tó yẹ ká kọ́ ni kówó tó dé. Ọmọ ló sì kẹta gbogbo wa ló máa bímọ yìí. Mo lè torí ọmọ jíjó ìdùnnú ọdún kan. Ẹni bímọ ní ojogún ayé mò ń wí. Máfi kan wọ́n wá nínú mẹ́ta. Máfi kan wọ́n wá nínú mẹ́ta. Àlàáfíà owó pẹ̀lú ọmọ wọn dùn ní. Mo ṣe bá ní lórúkọ ọmọ ọ̀sìn ọmọ láfẹ́ ayé o. Mo ṣe bá ní lórúkọ ọmọ o. Mo ṣe bá ní lórúkọ ọmọ ọ̀sìn ọmọ láfẹ́ ayé. Ẹyọ̀ bí o sọmọlẹ̀ wá. Asán ni kí a má kúrò. Ẹjọ́ bí o sọmọlẹ̀ wá o. Asán ni kí a má kúrò. Ọmọ ẹni ní fọ́tò ẹni. Ọmọ ẹni ní fọ́tò ẹni. Bí a bá mi akira lóde. Wọn ò ní bèrè pé owó ń kọ́. Wọn ò ní bèrè pé aṣọ ń kọ́. Àwọn sọmọ yìí wá bí a bèrè. Máa sọ wípé ṣé àlàáfíà ló wà. Ilé ń kọ́, ìyàwó ń kọ́. Ṣé dáadáa lọmọ ń bẹ nílé. Ìyẹn ló mú mi rántí wípé. Àlàáfíà lẹ̀gbọ́n nínú mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta. Owó la fi ń tọ́mọ. Nítòótọ́ lọ́mọ lójoogun ayé. Kò ṣe má ní lórúkọ ọmọ. Kò ṣe má ní lórúkọ ọmọ. Ọmọ ọ̀sìn ọmọ lábẹ́ ayé. Mọ́mà jẹ́ apá sọ́ọ̀lùwà fún wa lọ́mọ àrídùnnú làwọn bẹ̀bẹ̀ fún. Mọ́mà jẹ́ apá sọ́ọ̀lùwà. Mọ́mà jẹ́ apá sọ́ọ̀lùwà fún wa lọ́mọ àrídùnnú làwọn bẹ̀bẹ̀ fún. Ọmọ tí ó kàwé re kọ́lẹ́jì tí ó dènìyàn ńlá ni kí o fún wa bí. Ọmọ tí ó kàwé re kọ́lẹ́jì tí ó dènìyàn ńlá ni kí o fún wa bí. Ọmọ tó máa gbé màmá nìyí. Dá màmá lọ́la, àwọn àtọ̀rọ̀ abẹ́ Olúwa nílé ayé ń bí. Ọmọ gbàgbé ń sinmi, ẹ̀ta ká sórí majority. Ó di wájú òkèèrè gédé ń gbé. Ọmọ búburú tí màmá ẹ̀mí àríyẹ́ra. Tí bàbá mi àríwá tí ẹ̀mí èjì sáré. Àgbẹ̀ kan wá Olúwa ọba. Àmì o, àgbẹ̀ kan wá Olúwa ọba. Fún wa lọ́mọ àrídùnnú làwọn bẹ̀bẹ̀ fún. Ẹ̀sán àbáfà jùbọ̀ ẹni bá lọ ló gbàkú láyé ń bí. Ẹ jẹ́ kájọ jíjó lọ́mọ, làbútu yẹ kẹ́mu bọ́ ọmọ mi jó. kájọ jíjọ lọ́mọ ẹ jẹ́ kájọ jíjọ lọ́mọ lábùtú yẹ kẹ́mu kọ́ ọmọ mi jó. ẹjọ́ kí làbá fowó rà tí ó dàbí ọmọ nílé ayé. ẹjọ́ kí làbá fowó rà o tí ó dàbí ọmọ nílé ayé. ọmọ nìyí ọmọ nígbè nìka ọmọ nìyí ọmọ nígbè nìka ọmọ lẹ́jọ́ ayé ọmọ lẹ́jọ́ ayé. gbogbo ẹni tó ti bímọ kọ́mọ wọn máyọ̀kú mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. gbogbo ẹni tó ti bímọ o kọ́mọ wọn máyọ̀kú mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. àwọn obìnrin tó lóyún sínú kágbó ohùn yá kágbó ohùn wọn mọ̀. gbogbo obìnrin tó lóyún sínú kágbó ohùn yá kágbó ohùn wọn mọ̀. àwọn à ń bolúwa táwọn lòun sọ wọ́n dàbí yàrá. àwọn à ń bolúwa táwọn lòun sọ wọ́n dàbí yàrá. ọmọ òun ní dùgbòrà ó dùgbò òdùn náà. ẹ jẹ́ kájọ jíjọ ọlọ́mọ ọmọ ẹ jẹ́ kájọ jíjọ ọlọ́mọ làbùtù yẹ kẹ́mu kọ́ ọmọ mi jó. láyé bí ẹ dẹ́kun ọ̀rẹ́ mi ọmọ bá ní rẹ̀ lùdùdùdù. ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́mọ làwa làwa ó ṣe o. ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́mọ làwa ó ṣe o. ọlọ́mọ ló láyé àhóyè. ọlọ́mọ ló láyé kájọ bímọ yẹ o. ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́mọ làwa ó ṣe o.
Solutions FM 93.9 òkè àdó nílùú Ìbàdàn láyé ń gbọ́ filẹ̀ má gbé kúrò Solutions FM àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
Kílẹ̀ jẹ́ làbọ̀dé bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ. Mo ní mo bẹ̀ ẹ́ ọlọ́run ọba. Ìrèrè jẹ́ làbọ̀dé. Kílẹ̀ jẹ́ làbọ̀dé bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ. Mo ní mo bẹ̀ ẹ́ ọlọ́run ọba. Ìrèrè jẹ́ làbọ̀dé. Abọ́n gbogbo ní mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́, alábàámbí olóòyàlú wọn. Ṣàṣeyàn ní ìfẹ́ ní ilẹ̀ ìbá ò bá sí lé. Ẹ̀rú pamọ́ ní ìfẹ́ ní lóyún ẹni. Ọmọ àlímọ̀ ṣàdí àmọ́ ògbélé ta wílé. Ṣé wàá di ọtí mìíràn kọ́kọ́ ń jẹ́ mi lọ? Ìdè of Majesty o. Kílẹ̀ jẹ́ làbọ̀dé bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ. Àní mo fẹ́ ọlọ́run ọba. Ìrèrè jẹ́ làbọ̀dé. Bí mo ṣe ń jáde lọ. Mo ní mo fẹ́ ọlọ́run ọba. Ìrèrè jẹ́ làbọ̀dé. Ta ló lẹ́kún? Lẹ̀kẹ̀lẹ̀kẹ̀ ló lẹ́kún. Lọ́lọ́hùn olóògùrò lọ́lọ́hùn. Orin àti ìlú àdídùn tí wà ló ń ṣe olú ọmọ ti gbèrèdè. Ṣèbọ́ wọn lọ́hùn bá ti ló fojúkun síwájú. Bàbá jẹ̀dá ní mọ́tà láyé mi ò ń bẹ ìlú síwáwó. Dáńdógó kọjá ẹ̀wù tọmọgẹ́lẹ́ bínú dá. 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 mi lábídì ijó ọlọ́mọge tó mọjó. ìbàdí kòwé fún mi ọmọge tó mọ ìlú. pàmbótó ìbótó bèbí jẹ́ ká jọjó. 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 ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. alábọ̀ onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ìrùkẹ̀rẹ́ mi yẹ́yẹ́ ò létí odò ọba fújì fèrèdè kájọ́káyọ̀. ìrùkẹ̀rẹ́ mi yẹ́yẹ́ ò létí odò ọba fújì fèrèdè kájọ́káyọ̀. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. alọ́ba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. bí mo ṣe ń kọ fújì mi èmi lóye o kò sẹ́ni mọ̀ ọ́ kan tó dàbí ọlọ́mọ kéwà ní ọ̀gbìn. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. nítorí eré ni mo fi raṣọ wálé. nítorí yìí ni mo fi ràlẹ̀kẹ̀ ọ̀run. ẹ̀yin ò lè ṣe kẹ́ ẹ̀ má fẹsẹ̀ rájò àwa náà ò lè ṣe ká má lùlù fún yóò. torí pé ẹ̀yin ò lè ṣe kẹ́ ẹ̀ má fẹsẹ̀ rájò àwa náà ò lè ṣe ká má lùlù fún yóò. ẹ̀yẹ̀wò bèbí tó ń jó tapá tẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹ̀yẹ̀wò bèbí tó ń jó tapá tẹ̀fẹ̀. ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan rọjú. kọ̀kọ̀ máa rọjú mọ́ ọlọ́mọdé kí lọ́kọ̀. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọba onírú ọ̀wà ìjó ni ó bá mi jó. ọmọ níta lọ́gbọ̀dé àyíndé lóṣù yọ̀ bí ọ̀wàrà òjò kí ẹ sáré wá. kí la fi ń mọ bá adé la fi ń mọ bá ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ ọrùn la fi ń mọ jòyè àpò la fi ń mọ jẹ. àyíndé bá dé tòun ti lù òun lẹ ó fi mọ wípé àtúndé. kútùpà kútùpà ẹṣin dòńdó kútùpà kútùpà ẹṣin dòńdó. kútùpà ẹ̀ṣin dondo. ẹlẹ́bùdì yìí ládùn ó oyin náà má kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ sílẹ̀ ẹ̀fà ṣọ́kù. kútùpà kútùpà ó ẹ̀ṣin dondo kútùpà kútùpà ẹ̀ṣin dondo. ẹlẹ́lẹ́ yìí ó lè dùn ó oyin náà má kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ sílẹ̀ ẹ̀fà ṣọ́kù.
Solutions FM 93.9 òkè àdó nílùú Ìbàdàn láyé ń gbọ́ filẹ̀ má gbé kúrò Solutions FM àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
Kango kango la gbóhùn agogo.
Kango kango lóhùn agogo ṣìkìṣìkì ní ti ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ wálé lóhùn títí kó lóhùn agogo lẹ́nu. Kango kango àràbálẹ̀ ètò tí ó máa mìlú títì ní ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM òkè àdó Ìbàdàn. Agogo ìkìlọ̀ lákòókò máa lò fi ṣàlàyé àwọn tó lè mú ewu wá nínú ìrìn àjò wa nípele àkọ́kọ́ tí a pè ní ewu ni. Nígbà kan rí nípele kejì lórí ètò kango kango ìwé ìrántí àwọn tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà kan rí lá máa ṣíwò tìlù torí tó mọ́gbọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ yànjú òní gbẹ̀yìn lórí ètò ẹ̀tún láǹfààní àti tẹ̀wálàgò sọ́n tó kàn ní ṣíṣe nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá nà sórí atẹ́gùn. Jímọ̀ yìí ni kẹ́ ẹ tẹ́tí sí wa lórí ètò kango kango láago 10 sí 11 òwúrọ̀ pẹ̀lú aṣíwájú apèrègbáyé ààrẹ Táíwò Fákóredé ọmọ ìbò olóbì. Fún ìkéde àti ìpolówó ọjà yín ẹ kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ wa Solutions 93.9 FM òkè àdó Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè ìbò olóbì sórí nọ́mbà yìí 08068580166 08068580166. Kango kango ètò gbogbo wa ni.
Ó yọ bí ọjọ́ ó tún lálẹ́ òbí òṣùmàrè sórí ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ ní dédé aago 4 sí 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ lẹ́wọ̀n máa pàdé olólùfẹ́ yín pèdèpèdè tó dáńtọ́ Abíọ́dún ọmọ Sàlámì the yellow man lórí ètò gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ no dull moment lórí ètò gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ ní Solutions 93.9 FM pẹ̀lú Abíọ́dún ọmọ Sàlámì the yellow man ó wà ń bẹ̀ labala àkọ́kọ́ lórí ètò àwọn tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ọgbà iléèwé wa campuses láwọn máa gbéyẹ̀wò labala ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì sociary ìrírí mi labala ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta níbi tá a ti máa láǹfààní àti sọ ìrírí wa àti àwọn ohun tá a dojúkọ nídìí iṣẹ́ tá a yàn láàyò bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ẹ̀bùn gbàmábìínú sì ti wà ń kalẹ̀ fún ìdáhùn sí ìbéèrè ṣe ti wá rí pokún fọ́fọ́ ó mẹ́gẹ̀sẹ̀ ń jẹ́ 5 unit course lè tó gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ gbégbó ẹ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ ní dédé aago 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀yin oníléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá olókòwò kéékèèké ẹgbẹ́ ìpolówó yín wá sórí ètò káfí tiwa gbé tiyín lárugẹ gbébọ́dì ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Abíọ́dún ọmọ Sàlámì the yellow man lórí ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM kájọ máa gbàsíkì mísíkì yásíkì.
Gbogbo wa la ti ń gbòǹgbẹ́rẹ̀ àríyá dé. Ọmọ tó taná gbàtà sórí ń fún lóríṣiríṣi. Ọkọ̀ rọ̀ sí tí níbo ló kà yín mọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ju fọ́máàtì. Zoom 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 zoom. Ẹ̀sìn funfun bẹ́ẹ̀rẹ̀ tán. Ó tún ti balẹ̀ bàgẹ́. Ìkànnì Solutions 93.9 FM. Òkè Àdó ńlẹ̀ Ìbàdàn ló kí káàbọ̀. Àríyá flow pẹ̀lú ọmọ mi tó ti torí bẹ̀ fọ́. Adébáyọ̀ tí àmìjù tó ta sinẹ́. Ọjọ́ Ẹtì ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ náà ló ṣì wà. Friday night. Aago 7 àṣálẹ́ títí dago